Today, I would like to address the topic of self-doubt. Now, this topic is actually kind of a huge topic, and we're not going to be able to cover all of it today in this video, but I would love to give you 3 things to kind of look at in your life when you are facing this interesting energy of self-doubt. So self-doubt could be maybe you are wondering, am I even like contributing? Maybe you're on a project. You're like, am I even valuable here? Am I contributing to this? Maybe you're in a relationship and you're like, am I even a great partner? Like, am I, valuable to this person? Or it could be the self-doubt in like, can I actually do this? Can I actually achieve this target or create this big dreams, big idea that you have? Okay, self-doubt can kind of creep in a lot of different ways. But here's a few tricks that you can, right when it comes up, have this kind of list. You can make a little list on your phone, have it around, and then you can go through these little steps and see if it starts to open up awareness for you. So the first thing is, the very first thing always is it your self-doubt? I have talked in other videos about us being these psychic sponges. We are aware of other people's universes. We're aware of their thoughts, their feelings, their emotions, and it could be directly to the person. So if you're having self-doubt in the relationship, it could be their self-doubt, but it could be also even further stretched. It could be an awareness of just people in relationships in general. It could be an awareness of your neighbor. It could be an awareness of a multitude of different things. It's not always direct, but you can pick it up. Even in the grocery store, you get the sense of, maybe someone's there and these thoughts are running through their head. Am I even valuable at my job? Maybe I should quit. Maybe I'm just a dead weight there. Okay. And you walk by and you pick it up, and then you start to make what you're aware of make sense. So you have an energy of self-doubt, and then you start to go, where would I have self-doubt? And then you're like, oh, well, I'm not like completely sure if I'm really good in this relationship. And then you just start to actually like put it into the structures of your life and living. And then you claim it as yours, and then it is yours, right? So the first thing, when that self-doubt pops up, I would ask the question, is it actually my self-doubt? If it's light, it's true, okay? Everything that is true for you is going to have a sense of lightness. Everything that is heavy and contracted, there's a lie in there. So if you're like, oh, is this my self-doubt? And it's kind of heavy, then acknowledge it's not yours. You don't have to deal with it. You don't have to change it. You don't have to fix it. It might be an awareness of, if it is a partner, that maybe they're going through some stuff and maybe they're feeling like that they're not contributing enough to you, then you can just kind of maybe reassure them, give them some like positive feedback, some extra snuggles that night. And it could have nothing to do with them. And you could even ask them, hey, have you been feeling like, anything coming up for you around our relationship? Is there, anything going on that you want to talk about? I'm here for you. And maybe it doesn't go anymore. Maybe it does. Maybe it opens the door to a really beautiful conversation. So the step 1 is it yours? Now, if you get a sense like, okay, this is mine. This is something like that it's come up a lot. It's something I'm turning on. I want you to look at something that is going to be a little bit beyond your mind. Okay. So what I mean by that is your first inclination might be to dismiss what I'm about to ask you, but I'm inviting you to just get present with it for a minute and see if that lightness is showing up. See if there's something there that's kind of pinging you like, this might be what's going on. Okay. So okay, so you have the self-doubt. You've asked, is it mine? You're getting a sense of, yeah, this is mine. Let's take it from, let's say you're working on a project, okay? There's 4 to 5 people, and you're wondering, you're doubting like your contribution to the project. Are you gifting more with your being than this reality says is possible. So what I've noticed with clients and in my own conscious work is that when I'm actually being something beyond this reality, the self-doubt will come up because it is not provable, right? And a lot of people might not even be able to catch it, what you're being. And some people will. They'll actually be really grateful for you just being there and just, like you do, but you do one little sprinkling of whatever it is that you're doing that moves the whole project forward. But because it was so easy for you, it was from being, not from doing, you will diminish the gift of it. Now, I told you this is might be a little bit hard. Your brain might be arguing with me a little bit. That's okay. But look at that question. So it could be in a relationship, right? Am I even a contribution to this person? And but your space of being might be greater than anything that this reality even talks about. So you have no reference to ping it off of. Okay. So if you have self-doubt, then often you can reference something. This is how we think to get over self-doubt. I don't think it actually works, but this is how we think it's going to work. Is you have some self-doubt and then you can prove the opposite. And then you're like, okay, good. I will ignore the self-doubt, or the self-doubt will eventually dissolve. But if you have nothing to ping it off of, then you can't actually prove to yourself that you are valuable, that you are being a contribution. This is in the workplace. This is in the relationship. This is all over the place, right? So then it's just this bigger space of being that you are in the project, in the relationship, wherever the self-doubt is showing up in your business, you as a public speaker or the book that you wrote, is it actually contributing to people? Well, it might be a bigger space than you have reference for. So it's really easy to let the self-doubt corrupt the awareness of what is actually occurring. So just acknowledge, if you get that lightness, wow, it is. It's like this, I'm gifting a bigger space of being than I have reference for. That is a ginormous contribution. Let that melt the self-doubt. Let that actually dissolve those little whispers, those pinging little things in your universe. And now here's the other thing. Here's the next piece in this is to look at, if it's more of, can I do this self-doubt? I want you to ask, are you capable of achieving, actualizing greater things than most of the people around you? So, for example, if you were friends with a bunch of already successful published authors and you were like, oh my God, I want to write a book, they would be like, oh, awesome. And they would have no doubt that you could write a book. They've written books. To them, they kind of know how it goes, right? And they're just kind of probably excited to see what you're going to create. Now, if you are in a place where nobody has ever even close to publishing a book, their point of view, it's so hard to create a book and to write a book. And you say to them, I'm going to be a published author. Their point of view would be, well, that's ridiculously hard. And it's hard to even make it. And you'll probably make no money. And they'll have all this doubt, right? Whether they say it out loud or not, you'll pick it up. Because remember, you're psychic. So you pick up on the doubt and then you start to doubt you. So that question of, if it could be a book, it could be a business, it could be an idea, it could be a creation, it could be a bazillion different things. Okay. If you're like, if you start to have self-doubt that you can even do this, that you can reach your target, that you can bring something into the world, I want you to look at that question. Are you actually capable of more than the people around you or the people involved in this? If that's light for you, just acknowledge that you are capable and allow that acknowledgement again to melt the self-doubt, allow it to be bigger and stronger than the self-doubt. Because the self-doubt, that's just lies. Either, I mean, do you doubt if you can like talk, breathe, unless you have something going on with the your lungs? You don't doubt that you can do it or not do it, right? So why would you doubt if you have a dream and you're going to bring it into the world? Why would you doubt if you could bring it into the world? It seems kind of crazy when you look at it that way, right? Yet we pick up on the self-doubt all the time. What if it was just a choice? What if it wasn't about concluding you could do something? It was about knowing that if anything that you'd like to do, you can do. It is all possible. And I hope that these steps, these things that you could bring into your life when the self-doubt creeps in, you can pull up this list and go through them, ask these questions and see what shifts for you. See if you can dissolve the self-doubt before it takes root and truly acknowledge that you are bigger than the voice of the self-doubt. You're so much more brilliant and magnificent. And here's the thing is that if you were actually not capable of it, if you were, or you actually aren't the contribution, you wouldn't even have those thoughts. Those people that just assume that they're the best and that everyone should just be grateful that they're even there. Those people are probably the people that are not contributing. If you're even like asking the question, am I being a contribution here? Shows that you desire to be a contribution. And if you desire to be a contribution, you are. It's really that simple. Am I even capable of like bringing this into the world? Shows that you desire to bring something in the world, that it's valuable to you, and that you have that capacity. You wouldn't have even had the dream of bringing it into the world if you didn't have the capacity to bring it into the world. It would be out of your world. I hope this video contributed to you. Please subscribe to the channel. It creates so much for us. And if you could leave a comment, like the thing, hit the bell, all the stuff, I would be so grateful for you. And just know that you truly are capable of anything. Don't let self-doubt or other people's doubt stop you. Now is your time.